Hey everybody, it is Kulipup here again. Now, I'm making this video because one of the lovely ladies that is in my group, Frequency 51, Development for the Evolved Mankind, had asked me a question. She's a new member and she asked me the question, and I'll just read it out to you. She says, I have read your intro explaining the explanation, but still a little bit confused on how you come up with the numbers and what makes one's levels change. So this is going to be based on your frequency levels. Okay, so this is just going to be a little bit more not in depth, but hopefully I can explain it in a little bit of a different way to gain a lot more understanding. And I think this is going to be especially good for our newer members that are coming in. And if you are not a member of Frequency 51, because you're watching this on YouTube, then please click the link below if you are interested in joining. Get a lot of cool new information. Right, okay, so number one, how do I come up with the numbers? Now, I'm going to try to draw you a little diagram here. So this is me. And I'm just going to put it down like this. Okay. So this is Kulipup. Now, I have a very, 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 very high frequency. My body vibrates in a really, really intense level. My ethereal frequency, my spirit, my energy vibrates at an even higher level than that. So what I'm like this huge buzz of energy. Now, because I've raised my frequency so high, I am actually connected to, can we see over here? Yeah. So let's say this is, I'm going to say these three people represent the entire world's population. Okay? So because my energy is so high, I actually, how's the best way to put this without making it sound like I'm slightly crazy? I have absorbed the energy of every single living human and organism within this world. So your energy, which was once your own, is now part of me. So you know when I say I can see into the hearts of all mankind, it is literally because your energy is my energy. Now, the thing is, a lot of individuals are vibrating at a lower frequency. Because I only have I've got about like 50% of your energy within me. Okay? And one of the reasons why I have 50% of your energy within me is because when I was raising my frequency, I was using phenomenally large amounts of energy. And what I had to do was, if you've ever seen like Dragon Ball Z, I know this is an old anime cartoon, Dragon Ball Z. And the only thing I can think of is the main character, Goku, at one point, whenever he's defeating the villain, he would use what we call a spirit bomb. And what he would do is he'd put his hands up and he'd say, all the people of the world, give me your energy so I can defeat this evil villain. And a little piece of the energy of each individual person would be taken from them so that they could have this big, what they call the spirit bomb, so he could just throw it at the bad guy. However, I wasn't taking your energy in order to throw it at anybody, but I was using it in order to defeat some pretty damn nasty entities that were on a really, 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 really large scale. And These are the kind of entities that can't be banished with sage. These are the kind of entities that had infiltrated the minds of every living human that was on the planet. Now, if you're just like, wow, this lady's full of shit, I really recommend you grab your pendulum. Has anything I said been not, has everything I said been source truth and only source truth? Yes. There you go. Please grab your pendulum and verify my words, because I know a lot of the stuff I come out with can be completely just like, really? It's like, yeah, no, I'm being serious. I mean it. But anyway, so these are this entity, and if you can imagine, there was a time when I basically went off the face of the earth for about a week and a half at one point, and you didn't see me online, you didn't see me anywhere, and it was because I was kind of battling this stupid entity. Anyway, we won, so it's cool. So anyway, because I was battling this I'm going to say this douchebag. I'm just going to say this douchebag. I needed to tap into all of the energies of mankind. Because I tapped into all of the energies of mankind, it doesn't go away though. We're now sharing it. We're one. So, you know, if I were to give you a reading, or this is why sometimes when I'm giving somebody a frequency, telling you your frequency levels, my focus here goes directly on you. And as I focus my energy, my thoughts, my frequency on you, when I do this, you feel my buzz of energy. So that's why some people are just like, hey, did you just tap into me? I just felt really, really weird. Or you get the tingles all over the place, or so on. And it's because I'm focusing on you and I'm tapping in. And because I'm focusing on you, and because you're part of my energy now, I can tell you how much you are vibrating as an individual as well. The same way that I can tell you if my arm feels pain or not. So if I were to hit my arm on something, or I was going to cut my finger or something, my finger would feel pain. The rest of my body would know that my finger's feeling pain, but my other hand feels just fine. So that is the way I'm able to feel what your frequency is. It is because I'm focusing, just the way I'd focus on my finger, the cut on my finger, I'm focusing my attention on you, and I am feeling your vibration as to what it is. Now, how that's put into numbers is through the universal consciousness that I have. That one is a little bit more harder to explain because I am a cognizant individual. I am claircognizant, meaning I have clear inner knowing. So, for example, all this information, all this energy that is around here, around you, around me, around everything, speaks its own language. And through my cognizance, I'm able to take in what it is saying to me and translate it into something understandable for us. So when I say, oh, hey, your physical frequency is 4, it's because it's like me looking at my finger going, ow, this hurts. And if it says, ow, it hurts, it means that you are a lower frequency. If it's feeling fine, that means you're on a higher frequency. Because energy all has and I'll describe the feeling for you. So when you are in a lower frequency, you feel very heavy to me. And when I put my direct focus, when I'm focusing on you, my energy around me will then mimic the energy that's around you. So I'm like, oh, I feel heavy. I don't feel very good. Now, when I then specifically ask the question I ask the question to the energy, hey, what is this frequency level? Then the number will literally come into my head. So the number will then be like, okay, so I'll be like, what level is this? I'm feeling this. I know it's not high. I know it's lower. And then the number 4 will come into my head. It will just literally translate as 4. And then from there, I'm like, okay. Then I feel the number. So I will say the number 4 just pops into my head, but then I'll be like, okay, well, let's check this. I'll say the number 3. If I say the number 3, I get a strong block that feels like it comes before me. So if I get a block, it means that the energy is incorrect. The energy is going, nope, not a 3. Now then I'll say the word, okay, 4. And with that, it's like the block has been lifted and all the energy then flows again. Because I'm correct, or I'm truthful, or that is what it is. That is a truth. Because all this energy is based off truth as well, by the way. However, if I were to go, okay, well, let me just double check, 5, then that block would come back. So then I'm like, definitely it's a 4. That's that feeling, my finger that's stinging, that's a 4. So that's how I'm going to feel your energy. Now, that's for your physical frequency. Your ethereal frequency is the same thing as well, because then I just shift my focus from your physical body to literally the energy that is around you. And we do the same thing. Okay, so that's how I'm actually feeling your energy. And that's how I'm telling you your actual physical frequencies and so forth. So again, because this sounds like a little bit unbelievable, but has everything I've said here been source truth and nothing but source truth? Am I really connected to every single individual that is on this planet? All of mankind? Yes, I am. So basically, that's another thing. So when you contact me and you're reaching out for help and you're just like, hey, I'm having trouble here, there, or whatnot, and I'm telling you, okay, say these words. Say these specific words, and I will lend you my energy. Right? Now, when you say a specific set of words, it is basically, and if I've told you those words to say as well, it is basically a command, because I've told my energy, if this person over here says, Kulipup, Tenkanoa, hey, Kulipup, lend me your energy, and I've told you to say these words, it means my energy, my big ball of energy, will then be directed over to you. And it will continue with the command that you've given, or the instruction that I've given you. So that's how I feel your energy and the exchange of energies that go through. Please do check your pendulum on this one, because I know it's really hard to kind of like, what? Yeah, I got that much. I know. It's crazy. I'm going to be doing another video on energy and the exchange of energy, the equal exchange of energy, and why it's so important as well. So be wary for that video that's coming out. Now, the next question that was asked was, what makes one's energy levels change? Now, there's two things with this. Here's yourself again, and here is your physical energy that you have. Look like a little gingerbread man. Okay, so let's say that this is your physical frequency. Now, how do you raise your physical frequency? Well, your physical body starts to, you have to make it vibrate more. Now, as we know, what makes that change, what makes your physical vibration change, is your environment. Okay, it is your environment and what you're actually putting in your body. That will totally determine what your physical frequency will be. Now, if you place your body in a positive environment, so let's say if you are eating good foods, so I'm going to draw a carrot there. You're eating good foods, you're exercising, that's a bike. You're exercising, you're genuinely being happy, because your physical frequency is literally what is in this material world. So if you are being happy, and doing things that make you happy, your physical energy around you will start to vibrate more. Your physical body will vibrate at a higher rate. So thinking happy thoughts, because again, energy, your consciousness is energy. It produces energy for you. So when you are thinking happy thoughts, you are producing a higher frequency of energy, because positivity, or the love frequency, vibrates at its highest, at the highest rate. That is the highest vibrating frequency you can get when you are in pure balance and pure love. However, if you are in a negative thought process, it is a negative or lower vibrational frequency. So if you're thinking happy thoughts, you are literally forcing your body to vibrate higher. However, if you're thinking negative thoughts, you will kind of force your body to have a sluggish or slower, lower vibration. So eating healthy, exercise, happy thoughts. Also your environment, which is the thoughts of others. So for example, if you've got a person over here, let's say it's a sibling, a spouse, a friend, a coworker, whatever it is, and they're constantly really, really pissed off. They're going to be on a very low vibrational frequency. Now, if you're coming in contact with these people all the time, their low vibrational frequency can then affect your thoughts and then turn your smile into that frown, because they're just being miserable. And if you allow their thoughts and their energy to connect to yours and turn your happy face into a frowny face, then you are going to be lowering in frequency, because you are forcing your body to vibrate on a lower level. Okay? Another way you can lower frequency, or be in a lower frequency, is if you are purposely, sorry, cat hair. Nope, sorry, lost my train of thought. Totally lost my train of thought. Never mind. Okay, we'll get there. But anyway, these guys, oh, sorry, yes, that was it. So for example, as well, you could be an individual who is empathic. So if you're an empath and you naturally absorb the energy of others, you just naturally take it in whether you're asking for it or not, and you're not checking that, oh, I'm feeling really crappy because this guy over here is really negative. Because that's going to go into your environment. You know, and a lot of people are empaths, like a genuine lot of people are empaths, and they don't even know it. So if you're in an environment where you're just around negative people all the time, you could just be absorbing that negative energy, their thought frequency, and that's going to keep you in a lower frequency as well. So how is it affected? Basically, yep, your physical frequency is affected by your environment. So change your eating, change your exercise, and change the people that you're around. Or if you're around things that don't make you happy, you don't want to be around them. Just simply don't want to be around them. And there's nothing wrong with that too. Who wants to be around things that don't make them happy? I sure as hell don't. So I don't. And if I am around something that makes me unhappy, I'll tell you that much, I'm changing it really quick. Because I'm vibrating a lower frequency, like shoot. Now, what can change your frequency? What can change your ethereal frequency? Now, your ethereal frequency is all about what's in your mind. You know what? I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. This is your mind, okay? Now, your ethereal frequency will depend, and it is connected to your spirit's frequency, or your source fractal frequency. So we'll just put this down as your source fractal over here. So they are literally what your ethereal frequency is. Now, the more knowledge you seek the more knowledge you have will determine the level of your ethereal frequency. So for example, if you have lived a life of just kind of like, you're in a routine, you go to work, You come home, you watch the Kardashians, or you watch the news, and that's all you do, and then you wake up again in the morning and you do the same thing over and over and over again, it means your mind is not expanding. It's just small in there, okay? Now, your ethereal frequency will grow depending on how much you experience. So if, for example, you were like, you know what, I'm no longer going to watch the news. I'm going to go do some research. You're going to do some research, and this is info over here. You're going to gain more info. More of that info means your ethereal frequency, your thought process, is going to expand because you're searching, you're developing new brain connections, you're looking for new information. And when your thoughts expand, your spirit gets to take the place inside there. This one's a little bit more confusing. If you haven't looked at my lesson 2, how to care for your how to care for your 5 bodies, it will be in more of the, I believe it is part 11, which is the source fractal body. So that'll have more information on there. I don't feel like I'm explaining this correctly, I'm not going to lie. You know what, let's start again. So your ethereal frequency basically is the frequency at which your spirit vibrates, your higher consciousness. So your higher consciousness, your source fractal, can only vibrate as fast as you are able to give them information. So you need to feed them information. So if you're down here again, and you live in, your mind lives in a box. You know, it used to be a wonderful circle, just full of just creativity and just like curiosity and so forth. But you know what, we went to school and they said, no, you can't think that way. So they chiseled off a little piece of our circle and we're now a square. And then you went into work and they said, you have to behave a certain way. And then the government said, you have to follow these rules and this law. And then society said, you have to dress a certain way. You can't do this. You can't do that. Your hair can't be in this way. You can't express yourself that way. And we put ourselves in a box. Now the thing is, a box can only go so far. It can only go so far. So when you seek knowledge, and when you can base your opinions or your perspective based on truth, you will go from a square into a circle. And that circle is expansive. And it'll expand, and it'll expand, and it'll expand. The more info you seek. So again, this is why I'm always telling people, if you want to raise your ethereal frequency, research, study, get interested, be curious. Look at every single avenue where you can learn from. Nothing is off limits. If you're an individual who is heavily religious, look into science, look into fairy tales, look into mythology, look into ancient geology, ancient civilizations. If you're somebody who is a scientific kind of individual, then look into religion. Look into religion. Look into all of the different places that you think are not there. If you are somebody who is on spiritual enlightenment only, and you're only in the esoteric kind of realm or whatever, and you only think of like energies or this and that, look outside that box. Look into quantum physics. Look into anything and everything. Because the more information you have, the more your mind just expands. And that, when your mind expands, that's when you give a higher vibration to your source fractal or your higher consciousness. And again, it doesn't have anything to do with your level of intelligence, what school you went to, how well you did in school, how well you did in work. It has nothing to do with your intelligence. All it has to do is with your your ability to find patterns and understand their meanings or follow truth. And you don't need a degree for that. Definitely not. And again, these frequency levels don't indicate whether you are a successful individual, whether you're a failure, whether you're good, whether you're bad. They don't indicate anything like that. All it indicates is literally how high you are vibrating. Now, the higher you vibrate, the more patterns and their meanings you're able to discover. And the more patterns and meanings you're able to discover means that's more information you're able to process in a shorter space of time. More information you're able to process in a shorter space of time means that you can get through things a lot faster. And if you can get through things a lot faster, it means you can get to where you want to go a lot faster. Why wait a lifetime to discover and live and experience when you can simply do it now, right? Through understanding. So that is how the ethereal frequency works. I hope I explained that right. It is so very, very complicated, and I apologize because I was like, oh, I'm taking too long. So that is what makes this change. Now, however, if you are, how does an ethereal frequency go down? Well, that's when you just start putting yourself in a box again. If all of the information that you've learned and is truthful and it resonates with you, but you purposely choose to exercise your ignorance and ignore the information that you've had, then you're going to lose vibration. It's going to go the opposite way, and it's just going to come all in here because it highly depends on what you physically believe and if you are believing what you are hearing is truth or not. And that's what it is. So hence a lot of people, if they're religious or following an organized religion, they're very boxed off because a religion will tell you basically trust this without doing any research and don't look into it. Just I'm going to tell you what it is and that's what it is and don't question it. So you're in a box. You know, labels, when you're being labeled, you label yourself to a box. Even myself, you know, people always ask me like, hey, what is your origin? Where are you from? And I tell people, I'm like, I'm a citizen of the world. I don't come from anywhere. I don't come from anywhere or anything. I come from my mother's vagina. That's where I come from. And sometimes they can't tell. They're like, hey, are you Spanish? Are you African American? I'm not American. Are you black? Are you Indian? Are you like this and that? And I'm like, sure, whatever. I've got them all. Whatever. I'm a woman. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. So the more you categorize yourself, label yourself, and live in those labels and live in those categories, the more of a box you put yourself in. And the thing is, if you don't believe you have a label, if you don't believe in categorizing everything, if you're just like expansive, then everything's open to you. And that's one of the things I say. I say, believe everything is possible so that everything is possible to you. Because it's all about your consciousness and your belief. Your consciousness creates your world. Your consciousness, your focus, is what literally manipulates your energy. When you focus your attention on a certain thing, that is what your energy will physically go into. And that is how people physically manifest. You know, because they focus their attention on this wish or this request. And then they're like, oh, wow, it happened. Well, of course it did, because you focused your energy on it. And you were vibrating at a high enough level to produce it. So, anyway. That is that. I really hope that did make sense. I feel like I've went way longer on this video than I intended to. But if you've got any other questions, if you're like, hey, I need a little bit further explanation on this or that, then please just let me know. Send me a message and I'll make a video, because this is all about learning for everybody. We need to share this knowledge and we need to share this understanding. So if you've got a question and you don't know the answer to it and you want to ask me, then shoot, you know how many other people probably have the same question, right? So please ask me. I'll make a video and we'll help educate the world together. All right. Bye.